Yep, I'm back. Okay, so yesterday we spoke about pace setting. Hey, that's Mr. Chief. All right, hold on, one second, one second. He wanted to say good morning, but so we spoke about pace setting, pace setting, pace setting, pace setting. A wise man once told me, when you're on the road and the hill gets steep, don't be afraid. Go ahead and take that leap. But you have to do it with wisdom, obviously. What he was saying was be relentless, be unstoppable. And that is something that takes dedication. It only comes by renewing your mind daily, hourly. Well, how do you renew your mind? And obviously, we've talked about this in previous videos, but the answer to that is changing your environment. What you see, hear, absorb, like we talked about yesterday, are catalysts to change, positive or negative. And that's interesting because, side note, yesterday I popped open my phone right when I got in the car and I was searching for something. And then I thought I saw something that really wasn't even there, but it was from the thoughts that I had been having previously with myself, which brought that to my eyes, and it wasn't even there. So I had to check myself real quick, like, hold up, nah, that's not even. No, we're not letting those thoughts invade your mind. So be mindful of that. That what you constantly think about or perceive can eventually become what you begin to see, and I do believe in that. Now, obviously, there are other factors that play into it, but I do believe if you continue to focus on what you don't have or the negative, then that's what you're gonna see. That's what's going to actualize into your life. And I'm sorry for saying I have a problem with that. I have to do better, and I'm going to start today in this video. So during this pandemic, God has been revealing himself like never before. And one thing that he said was he can't be boxed in. We can't box God in. No matter how hard you try, no matter the strategy, the logistics, you can't box him in. Meaning his nature never changes. But the way we see, hear, or absorb what he has for us might, and rightfully so. Because if we've turned ourselves off to him in one aspect of our lives, he has to speak to us through another medium, another aspect. So as we grow and become more disciplined, he then can show us another layer of his person. So for me personally, when I get to a certain level, once I go a ring up or a rung up, I tend to get complacent. And it might not be long-term complacency, or it might not be a complacency that causes me to lose focus, but it still is complacency, and I notice that. And everybody goes through it, so don't think that it is something foreign to myself or to you. But what I'm saying is, when you realize that you are being complacent, you have to immediately flip the switch and get back focused, tuned in to what he's trying to tell you, so that you can continue to, boom, level up, hit the next rung, put your foot on the next step if you're climbing. This not only helps us power through to the next level of our lives, but it keeps us interested in wanting to know more of God. Now, why is that important? Because a thirst and a longing develops in our hearts for who he is. Now, that's already there naturally because we were created to be in relationship with him. So what's a relationship without a little mystery? And I think that's the most important thing. I'm not talking in the sense of hiding things from your partner, but back to the statement mentioned earlier, changing your environment. It causes you to look and listen to assess your opportunities and threats, because when you change your environment, you have to be aware of the next step. You have to be aware of where you're at, because if you change your environment to some place that you've never been before, you can't just go in thinking, I know this place, because you don't know it. I'd much rather be stumbling upon problems, because that means that it needs a solution to which no one has developed, than to be in a place where there are no problems and everything is calm and copacetic, because that means that I'm not growing. And it's just like God to put his most pressing task to a diligent son. Now, am I saying that I'm always diligent? No. Am I saying that I'm growing in diligency? Yes. Am I becoming more diligent? Yes. I'm becoming more receptive to the voice and the person of God. And a diligent son is one that will pull from the wisdom gained through past experiences, through meditation and prayer, to blaze new trails. God wants a pace setter. That's what we talked about yesterday. He wants a pace setter. And a pace setter is a leader bold enough to step on new ground. When they do that in faith, that land now becomes holy ground. A pace setter sets the tone, the attitude, and the standards for the group. Therefore, they can't compete with the group, because their environment is always changing. They have to set the pace. So if you're a pace setter, you have to lead. You have to be the person making the vital decisions for the group, because everybody feeds off of you. So you can't be a efficient pace setter and be competing with the group, because the group is looking to you at that moment to give them guidance. So are you setting the pace for your group? If not, who is? That is the most important question right now. Who is setting the pace for your group if you're not? Does that pace match with your abilities? That's the next question. So who's setting the pace for your group, and does the pace that they're setting match with your specific abilities? I challenge everybody to be a pace setter and watch your life change. Trust God. You know what to do.